Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I am showing you we're gonna call it long-awaited. I don't know how many of you were actually waiting for this, but it is my office makeover. So I've mentioned this a couple of times over the last couple of months, but because Dan and I are planning on growing our family, we knew that at some point we were going to have to merge Dan's office and my office into one glorious room and leave the other room open to be our future child's room. So today I am taking you on the journey and showing you the makeover of our new office, which I'm obsessed with, by the way. So I'm gonna open this up kind of weird, but if you know me, you know that I'm all about the lighting. So I had these half burnt out Christmas twinkle lights up near my piano, and I started off by taking them down. And this is kind of a weird thing to start with, but because I'm so inspired by lighting and twinkle lights, because I'm easily inspired apparently or entertained, I wanted to hang these up first to get me like in the mood. So I took down the burnt out Christmas colored lights and I strung up my neutral lights. I also had this string of like hemp stars that I decided to leave up as well. I got them during Christmas at Hobby Lobby and I just think that the look is really cute. So I left them there intertwined with my twinkle lights, and I laid the remainder of the twinkle lights across the top of my storage shelves. I had this table here for now, but we actually ended up moving it to our guest room. You'll see that in a little bit. And then Dan did the difficult process of moving his racing simulator into our office while I just stood around and filmed. Got all the angles, you guys. So it's quite an ordeal. I need to be really gentle. If you didn't know, this simulator is how Dan trained and learned how to become a race car driver. So before he ever did any real NASCAR races, this is what he trained on. And it's been in our life for years now. It's one of Dan's favorite hobbies. He actually brought that up to me yesterday, that if he could just pick one hobby for the rest of his life, this would be it. He loves it. So it really is his prized possession. So he moved that over from his office to our new joint office. So I knew I wanted to move my other shelving unit next to the shelving unit near my piano. So I started off by taking all of the products and boxes of stuff that I had on this shelf, and I just moved it over to my couch so that we could easily slide it over to be next to the other shelf. I also had a few items that I just needed to put away and throw away, and one of the things that I had was my sewing machine. I knew I wanted to set up a sewing station so that once I start sewing, I have a dedicated space. That might seem a little bit extreme, but I just felt like this is kind of what I wanted to do. So we moved everything out of the way and piled it onto the couch, moved stuff over, and then Dan and I moved the shelf. Of course, I was using my thieves cleaner to wipe everything down, remove all the dust, and just kind of get everything nice and clean when we rearranged it. By the way, how cute is this? These are little succulent transplants that my neighbor gave me, and I just thought that was so cute. The shot was blurry, but let's ignore that. And along with this move, we decided to clear out this wall because this is where I decided I wanted to move my desk and our screen. So we moved that over, and then we also moved the bookshelf onto the other side of the room as well, so he could store the web modem and other things that he needed to store near his simulator. So I also cleared out my books, and I decided in this process of cleaning books out that I wanted to get rid of a couple because I don't need to keep all of these books. Oh, by the way, Dan drilled in the back of the bookshelf to make it so that he could easily plug the electronics he had stored on the shelf. Side note, these books get a shout out. If you are a homeschool mom, I remember loving these books. They break down complex topics into easier to understand tidbits. Whatever Happened to Penny Candy is about the economy. Whatever Happened to Justice is about our legal system. I will be rereading that one. I had a couple of fake fiddly figs that were in the office, but I don't need them anymore because of where we've moved everything and the fact that I have a second tower garden now. So I moved those out, and then I also moved out my standing desk. My sister is actually going to be using it at her house for a while as like temporary storage. We also moved in a spare desk that we had from our guest bedroom. You might recognize these desks from our old office when we lived in California, but I decided that this was going to be my sewing desk. So I put all of my sewing goodies in here. Oh, and then I also created this little nook above my bookshelf. I just put my diffuser, the succulents, my pink sea salt lamp, and I thought it was pretty, so I thought I'd show you. So disastrous, right? It was a mess, but always remember when you are organizing something, creating a look in your home and just nesting in general, typically it has to get worse before it gets better, because if you really want to do it right, you often have to tear everything out, go through each individual thing, wipe things down, and it's just an ordeal. And on this day, I decided to also go through all of my products and really make sure that what I kept was what I wanted. You guys know I like to give away things that I don't think I'm going to be using anytime soon. I wanted to double check my backup stash. Companies send me so many products and I can't get around to using all of them, which is why you should check the info box for my semi-secret giveaway. Anyways, then I gave moral support for Dan, which included my dance moves, while he hung up the shelf above my sewing desk. Now this really serves no purpose other than just a cute little nook. I got this shelf at Cost Plus World Market, and I think it's just a pretty shelf. I like the lines on it. I like that it's metal and wood, and I thought it would be a cool place to store, I hate the word knickknacks. I don't even really feel like I like knickknacks, but I do have a couple, so I put them up there. So at this point, it was time to start putting away the boxes that I went through with all of the products that I had organized. And then, guys, that was it. I didn't get any more footage of the process for you, but you got the gist. We ended up moving our second tower garden over to the other side of the couch. And as you guys have seen in my recent day in my life videos, I purchased an exercise bike recently that I have been loving. This room has become a favorite room in the house for us, and it's been really fun to see what can happen with a space when you just pour all of your love and care into it, which I realize sounds a little bit dramatic, but this room, we lovingly call it our hobby room now, holds so many things that Dan and I love to pour our hearts and souls into, that we love to create and participate in. And honestly, I kind of wondered if it would feel cramped with both of us in here, but not even at all. I actually love sharing an office with him. By the way, I picked up these bins all over. I got some at Cost Plus World Market. Some of them were from Home Goods, Ross. One of them was even sent to me by a brand. Side note, I hate the way that I store these. Like, I really wish that it was organized, but I also don't want to just put my products out on the shelves, because seeing all of the products laid out, I think would drive me insane, seeing like a million labels. So if you have any ideas or suggestions, feel free to let me know. Side note, I want to challenge you guys. If you have a space that you don't necessarily love, put a little time looking on Pinterest and thinking about what you have, because it's really amazing when you clean a space out and reorganize and just give a space some love, how you can turn an area that maybe you're feeling like so-so about into a place that you love. We enjoyed this room before, but we love it now. And it doesn't take much of a budget to make a space feel loved and welcoming and inviting and warm. So yeah, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you felt encouraged or inspired to take care of your space. Don't forget, if you are still listening to the sound of my voice, check my info box, because I have been doing pretty much every single video. I call them semi-secret, secret, not so secret giveaways, just as a way to say thank you for your support. All of your comments, every time you thumbs up a video, watch one of my videos, you're not only supporting my channel, but you're helping to grow our community. And I have learned so much from you guys, like I mentioned in the last video, on everything: food, homemaking, health, and I just really enjoy our community. So I will hopefully be back here soon with another new video. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and yeah, bye guys.